Hey everybody, this is John from Bash, and today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and ring that notifications bell so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a choosing beggar mommy doesn't want to pay for her son's tutoring. Let's jump right in. Story time. This happened some years ago, but it's always fun to reminisce. Back in the day, during my first years of college, I used to do some private tutoring to earn some honest cash. My rates were definitely low, something around €10 per hour. This happened in Italy, and that rate was lowish even for Italian standards. And if it was me going to the pupil's house, I asked for an extra flat €5 to cover the price of the tickets for public transportation. One day, I receive a call from this woman. She tells me that her dear son needs some tutoring in math. Couple of hours, 2 times per week, standard fare. She gives me the address and I reckon it's in one of the richest, classiest areas of the city. I tell her that the price is €10 per hour plus the €5 to cover the tickets for transportation, and she accepts. Alright, day 1. I go to her house and it's actually a huge house. These people are clearly loaded. I get introduced to the son and to his room. The walls are plastered with official paraphernalia of the local soccer team, very expensive stuff. There's a massive flat screen towering in the middle of the room and 3 or 4 gaming consoles hooked to it, all the latest models. As I sort of expected, the guy is actually a little spoiled brat. Ignorant as flip, with that constant sneer which is typical of those that feel they're entitled to the world, and that clearly tells me that he has no intention of improving or paying attention. As a result, those initial 2 hours of tutoring are an absolute hell. Time passes and it's time for me to leave. We go to the living room where his mom is waiting for me and she hands me 2 €10 bills. Ma'am, it would be €25. She's looking perplexed with a hint of annoyance. Why €25? You said it was €10 per hour and it's been 2 hours. Sure, but I also told you that if I'm coming here, I ask for an additional €5 for public transportation. After a couple seconds of silence, does this mean that I have to give you these extra €5 every time? Well, you could send your son to my house if you want to save. She's clearly annoyed. But why do you need to ask for extra money? I'm starting to lose my temper. Well, ma'am, I still need to physically get here. I don't really pocket anything of those extra €5. I use them to buy the tickets. Would you prefer me to count this as actual tutoring time? In that case, it takes me around 1 hour to come here and it would be an extra €10. At this point, she relents and hands me an extra €5 bill, but it's clear that she's pissed. Day 2 of tutoring arrives. 30 minutes before I leave to get there, my phone rings, and it's the mother. Hello? Hey, it's Mom's name. We thought about this tutoring thing, and we didn't like a certain thing. We don't need your tutoring anymore. Okay, have a good day. I conclude, dropping the call without even waiting for a reply. In story 2, we have a choosing beggar stuck with 2 right shoes. I work at a shoe company which, to be clear, sells new pairs of shoes. We received a call today from a woman who bought 2 pairs of our shoes over a year ago, I think longer because the colors are no longer available, and told me somehow she lost both of the left shoes from the 2 pairs she had. She asks if we have any kind of replacement program, which we do not. I explain that fact to her, ask her which model shoes she has, and tell her that I will look into finding a solution for her. While trying to identify which shoe it is, she was constantly talking over me, making it not only difficult to help her, but also to tell her things. She keeps assuming things wrongly and guessing. Extremely irritating. After we figure out which model she has, I confirm that we no longer have one color, but we still sell the other. She sees the price and says that's much higher than she paid 1 or 2 years ago, even though they are on sale. Just for clarity, these are a particularly high-end pair, 3rd from the top in terms of price in our catalog. She then tells me that she sees the same pair of shoes on a different site for a much lower price. I tell her that if they're on another site for less, they probably aren't ours. They won't be the same, but maybe similar. The site she referenced was overseas, so they wouldn't be ours. She then begins to pick apart the differences between our pair and the pair overseas, which is obviously completely besides the point and not solving anything. I told her, let me see what I can do and I'll call back. In the showroom, I find one sample of a left foot, same model and size. Lucky, right? Wrong. I call her back to let her know the good news and let her know that I luckily found a sample of one left in her size and offered to send it to her for free, not even charging her for shipping. She then asks if there is anything I can do about the sales price because she wants a pair for her daughter. I tell her I'm sorry, I don't control the price, and again, these are very high-end shoes, so I can't give any higher discount on this sale item. She seriously asked me multiple times, several different ways, if they would ever have a bigger sale. Lady, seriously? I'm sending you a single shoe that's normally $120 a pair for free, and you can't afford to buy your daughter a pair for 20% off? Really? In story 3, a choosing beggar wants all the work done for free, and could you please take care of my garbage? Years ago, I had a bit of a nightmare client. His business racked up a few $1,000s of unpaid invoices, many promises to pay, etc. Adjusted for cost of living in Vietnam, call it the equivalent burden of a $10,000 unpaid invoice in the US. Those promises to pay eventually stopped, but I was expected to keep working. Not even the decency to actually beg. One day, a bunch of boxes full of non-incriminating legal documents arrive at my personal residence from them, with the instructions to carefully shred them. Not even the decency to ask me first. They just make the assumption that I'm okay to take care of their trash in my own home. I'm not sure what type of industrial shredder they thought I had, but this would have taken at least 6 hours non-stop to do on the small shredder I have, probably much longer. They should have just said, hey, you know all that website work you did? Can I retroactively have it all for free? I'm gonna assume yes. That's not enough though. I need you to process my garbage. It's already en route to your home. You are welcome. Bye. I reacted the only way I know how. I squeezed whatever money I could from this situation. I removed the pages with signatures on them because a third party could be impacted, and sold the boxes of legal documents to a scrap dealer for 20,000 Vietnamese dong, about $1 US. So at least I made one actual non-exposure buck out of the whole mess. In all fairness, later, the villain of this story turned a lot of their negative behavior around over the years. We're friends again now. Life is too short for lasting grudges, although I'm not likely to work with them again. I look back and laugh at this now. Hope you get a good laugh out of it too. I've since learned to become much more aggressive at following up with unpaid invoices. It seems to be at least 30% of companies that I deal with. In our final story, a choosing beggar thinks if you can tip, then you can obviously pay for me. I read a lot of stories here on this sub, but this is my first live encounter with a choosing beggar. I'm a truck driver, and while I am on the road, I tend to forget things. Food is a good example. Yeah, I'm stupid and I know it. So today I crossed the border and realized that I hadn't eaten for over 12 hours, so I am very hungry. I stopped at a service area for some food, went for a sub, cause why not? While I was getting my order, a family walks up after me. Well, who cares? I get my sub designed to my liking, which means lots of onion and very spicy. This place is super efficient and everyone is getting their orders real fast, so in no time, it's my turn to pay. I pay for my order using my card. When the option to tip pops up, I decide to make a 13% tip, which is only $1.18. Keep that in mind. Once I had paid for my order, I was about to walk back to my truck to start chowing down on said sub while watching a TV show. All of a sudden, I hear, "Oh, he is paying for our subs." I didn't think much of it and kept walking until I heard, "Sir, you haven't paid for the order." It seemed to be directed at me, so I turned around to find the cashier is looking at me. "Sir, please come back and pay for the subs." I'm like, what the flip? But say, I already paid for my sub. "You haven't paid for this sub yet." I've got my own sub and paid for it. Then the lady says, my kids are hungry. And I care? Why? My kids are hungry, you need to pay. Why do I care? What does it have to do with me? Well, you gave them a tip. So? Then I start to leave again and she attempted to stop me. I don't care. Please, my kids are hungry. Well, pay up for their food and leave me alone. The lady starts to rage and her kids join in screaming, please, we are hungry. I don't give a flip. Go ask your mommy. Why did you tip them then if you are too cheap to pay for us? Go flip yourself. I tip every worker if there is an option to do so. Why can't you pay for us? 'Cause I don't give a flip about you or your kids. I hate when people count my money. This is John from /bash. Please hit that like button to help with the almighty YouTube algorithm and make sure you have subscribed and have notifications on so that YouTube can let you know when my next video drops. Thanks for watching and we will see you in the next one.